Welcome to Waters of Memory. My name is Eric. I help you cut through the fog, discover your true desires, heal, and live your purpose. You can purchase my services or schedule a coaching session with me through my website in the link tree down in the description. If you like what I do here on YouTube, you can support me for as little as $5 a month over on Patreon. And I offer a range of healings, cleansings, attunements, rites, and empowerments in the higher tiers. It occurred to me, as I thought about this topic, that I can't remember the last time I encountered someone who calls themselves an empath who isn't a raging narcissist. I mean, think about it. If you're dealing with someone who has this impulse to announce their empathy on the mountaintops, it's a bit like them saying that they are the most humble person that you will ever meet in your entire life. The mere fact that it has to be proclaimed means that it's false. It's an image, something that they want to be seen as, rather than something that they actually want to embody. Now, even the dictionary makes a big mistake when it comes to empathy, and that it conflates empathy with compassion. And in spiritual and psychological circles, when people say that they are empathic toward others, more often than not, what they mean is that I can feel what you're feeling. Not just I can comprehend it, but I can take it into myself and feel exactly what you're going through in this moment. Now, there's a lot of problems with this. The first is that most people who think they are doing that are projecting. And I can think back to my own father. He never called himself an empath. He wasn't that full of shit. But he would tell me on a routine basis what I was feeling, what I was experiencing. And he would do the same thing with a lot of other people. And it was a form of gaslighting. Like, he understood what you were experiencing better than you did. But the reality is that he had no idea. And he either didn't care or he understood that this worked as a destabilizing manipulation tactic. But there's another side to this, because people like to think that a lack of empathy is necessary in order to be a terrible person. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Some of the most skilled vampires and manipulators that you will meet over the course of your life are highly empathic. Just because someone knows what you're feeling to the point that they can even feel what you're feeling, it doesn't mean that they care. And when it comes to psychic and energetic vampires, them being able to feel what you're feeling, they're basically getting a taste of you. So if they're able to accurately pick up on that, they can approach you, they can get you to let your guard down. They can speak to you in ways that confers to you that they have some greater understanding of you than anyone else does, or at least they want you to feel that way. And that's how they get in, that's how they get a chunk of your energy. Taking this from a different angle. So the title of the video is Being an Empath Doesn't Make You a Good Person. Well, we all care about our image to some extent. It's not just narcissists. It's just that narcissists take it to a pathological extent, to the point that they don't care whether they are actually good. They just want to be seen as good, because that comes with status. It comes with societal benefits. It allows them to get away with things that they normally wouldn't, because, well, if everyone knew that they were terrible people, everyone would be on guard. But if everyone thinks they're good people, then if someone comes forward calling them out for some horrible thing they did, well, people are going to look at that accusation, and they're going to look at the person, and they're going to say, well, someone this good, with this good of an image, couldn't possibly be guilty of this thing that they're being accused of. Someone who has actual compassion who cares about people, they're going to be empathetic out of a sense of duty. They're going to be empathetic toward others because they think that taking in the essence of what someone is experiencing is doing a service to that person and to society as a whole. There's some truth to it, because in terms of how we regulate our nervous systems individually, we actually do it in cooperation with the people around us. It's one reason why, if you are trying to recover from trauma, if you are trying to get your nervous system into a calmer baseline, it's very difficult to do it when you are constantly surrounded by people who are anxious, on edge, worried about things they can't control, and so on. So if you can take in some of what someone else is experiencing, that can help you regulate that emotion together. It can help the energy pass together. The risk is, if you have someone who likes wallowing in it, or someone who is constantly making problems for themselves, and they won't listen to reason, they will come to you with the same problems over and over and over, like the people who are constantly mistreated in their relationships. And the way that they're treated, yes, it's horrible, but you start losing your patience with them the fifth time that they're going out with someone brand new who's acting exactly the same way as the first person they were complaining about several relationships ago. So, as someone who is empathetic and compassionate, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, well, I have to be empathic if I want to be good. I have to be empathic if I care about this person. And in that sense, no, you don't. It's perfectly acceptable to put a firm, energetic boundary, emotional and psychological boundary too, between you and someone who is addicted to their own drama, their own stress response. And it's also perfectly acceptable for you not to extend empathy toward those who would prey on you. This touches on a topic that could easily be its own video and probably will be at some point. Because a big part of psychic vampirism and a big part of emotional and psychic predation is an energetic exchange where someone who is carrying a lot of things in themselves that they cannot face, process, or otherwise deal with, they project that into you, which then it brings your energy down, it makes you weaker, and it makes it easier for them to take energy from you, the good energy from you, to replace what they have displaced within themselves into you. So your empathy is something that, for the sake of your own survival, for the sake of your own sanity, it has to be earned. And part of being a good person in the broader scheme of things is taking care of yourself. It is sustaining those sound energetic boundaries. Because in terms of our calculus, when it comes to good done on a societal or world scale, we tend to omit ourselves, especially for anybody who has been a chronic people pleaser in their lives. You can't omit yourself. If you omit yourself, what will end up happening is that your capacity to do good is going to become increasingly diminished. You are going to, without intending this, slip into a mindset where you are increasingly bitter and resentful because your needs are not being met. You are being taken advantage of. You never get the respite, you never get the sort of nourishment and validation that you are constantly offering to others. And eventually that is going to spill out from you. It's one way that someone who is otherwise kind and caring and a wonderful human being, they end up spilling out into the world with all the negativity that they can't contain because they're too busy processing someone else's junk to be able to deal with what they need to deal with, the stuff that belongs to them. So realize some of the scariest people out there are not psychopathic. They are not completely lacking empathy. They're actually highly empathetic. They know exactly what they're doing, and they use their empathy as a weapon. And for you, if you have deep empathy, you don't have to become like them. You don't have to shut your empathy off altogether. But absolutely do not extend your empathy to every single thing that walks this earth. You are one human being. You are not designed to take all of that information, all of that energy in all at once. The only thing that you are obligated to deal with, to take care of, to try and wrap your head around is the stuff that is relevant to you, that you as an individual are able to process and handle. And when you have built yourself a firm foundation, you've dealt with the stuff that belongs to you, you've gotten the predators out of your field, then you can talk about extending your energy, your empathy toward people who are not your family, not your friends, not people or creatures that you trust and that you love. But you can't just give this willingly and without boundaries, without your gift in turn poisoning you and causing you to get dragged into the mire that so many people not only find themselves wallowing in, the way they live, you'd think they enjoy it. If you actually want to improve the quality of your energy and the energy that is within and that surrounds your immediate sphere, you got to get your own house right first. So with that, thank you all for joining me. I'll see you guys on the next video.